Hey, 49ers faithful, we're back with an exclusive video bringing you the latest updates on our beloved San Francisco 49ers. Before we jump in, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit that like button. This way, you'll never miss any breaking news or exciting updates about the Niners. Chris Jones arriving in San Francisco wasn't just a signing, it was a statement. The 49ers didn't just bolster their defensive line. They lit a signal fire across the NFC. The city knew it. The players knew it. And judging by the reception he got when his plane touched down, the fans definitely knew it. Airport workers stopped what they were doing to catch a glimpse. Cameras flashed. Fans in red and gold shouted his name like it was already third and long. At Levi's, this wasn't just an arrival. It was a celebration. Chris Jones walked off that plane grinning, wearing a black hoodie, gold chains, and the kind of aura only the elite bring with them. It felt like the 49ers had just landed a rock star, not a quiet under-the-radar move. This was fireworks, loud, proud, and exactly the kind of noise John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan wanted the league to hear. Inside the organization, this wasn't just about numbers, contracts, or scheme fits. It was about culture, identity, but the 49ers have prided themselves on a ferocious, attacking front seven. But the departure of Arik Armstead left a vacuum, both in presence and production. Javon Hargrave was never supposed to do it alone. They needed a force, a disruptor, someone quarterbacks feared before the snap and felt long after. Chris Jones is that guy. At 6'6", 310 pounds with 5 Pro Bowls, 2 Super Bowl rings, and a resume that reads like a defensive coordinator's dream, he walks into that locker room not just as a player, but as a tone setter. And the reaction from his new teammates? Pure electricity. Trent Williams greeted him with a bear hug. Fred Warner was all smiles. Nick Bosa? Already talking shop about how they're going to wreck game plans together. The vibe was clear. Something big just changed in San Francisco. When you talk about the best defensive tackles in the NFL, the list starts with Chris Jones. Period. For years, he's been the heart of the Kansas City Chiefs pass rush. A nightmare. In the trenches, who wrecks pockets and minds with equal precision. He's not just strong, he's smart, disciplined, relentless. And now, paired with Nick Bosa and Javon Hargrave, the 49ers might be rolling out the most terrifying defensive line in football. Just think about it. You can double Bosa, but now who stops Jones? Slide protection inside, and Bosa is coming around the edge with fury. Shanahan has always known the value of a dominant D-line. It's what took them to the Super Bowl in 2019, and it kept them in the conversation ever since. Now, with Jones in the fold, they're not just chasing a ring, they're demanding it. The message is loud and clear. The 49ers aren't playing for January. They're aiming for February. The celebration wasn't just at the airport. Levi Stadium itself turned into a mini party as Jones was given a tour. Staff lined the hallways. Jersey number negotiations had already begun. Reporters crowded the tunnel for a quote, a glance, a photo. Jones, cool as ever, soaked it in. "I've always respected this team," he said, "but now I'm here to take it to another level." The crowd in the lobby roared. It's rare for a defensive player to generate this kind of buzz. But Jones isn't just any defender. He's a franchise changer. A player who turns third downs into punts, red zones into field goals, and pressure into picks. The 49ers know their window is now. With Brock Purdy on a rookie deal, weapons all over the offense, and a defense already stacked, this was the moment to swing big. And they didn't just swing, they connected. Chris Jones was the home run they needed. His arrival also sends a message across the NFC West, and really the entire league. The Rams are rebuilding. The Cardinals are still figuring it out. Seattle made moves, sure, but nobody did this. Nobody landed the biggest defensive free agent of the offseason and paired him with the reigning defensive player of the year. For Sean McVay, Pete Carroll, and whoever's calling the shots in Arizona, Chris Jones in red and gold is a nightmare. Because the one thing every coach fears more than a smart offense is a relentless, deep, and punishing defense. And that's what San Francisco just built. Bosa on one side, Jones on the inside, Hargrave lining up anywhere, and a wave of depth. Behind them? That's how you win games in December. That's how you break quarterbacks. And that's how you make sure guys like Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, and Jared Goff wake up sweating in playoff week. What makes this move even more powerful is the fit. Jones doesn't just bring talent. He brings leadership, championship experience, and an edge that matches the 49ers ethos perfectly. He's played on the biggest stage. He knows what it takes to win when the stakes are highest. And now he walks into a defense led by DeMeco Ryans' protege, Steve Wilks, with a blueprint that already breeds dominance. For Jones, this isn't a learning curve. It's a launch pad. He'll be lining up next to guys who win one-on-ones with a secondary that trusts the rush to give them chances. And offensively, he knows Purdy, CMC, Kittle, Ayuk, and Debo will put up points. That's a dream for any defensive lineman. Play with a lead, rush the passer, get off the field, repeat. Chris Jones isn't just in San Francisco to be part of a defense. He's here to make it legendary. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The reaction from fans across the Bay Area has been pure, unfiltered joy. Social media exploded. Jerseys sold out within hours of the official announcement. Jones hasn't even played a snap yet, and he's already being celebrated like a returning hero. 49ers Twitter was flooded with edit after edit. Jones in red, Jones with Bosa, Jones sacking Dak Prescott in a playoff rematch. Local news stations led with the story. Radio talk shows couldn't stop praising John Lynch for pulling this off. And what's most striking, the sense of belief this move has inspired. Not hope, belief. 49ers fans already thought this team could make a run. Now, they expect it. And that's the biggest impact Jones has had so far. Before the pads come on, before the whistle blows, he's already changed the standard. The 49ers didn't just get better, they raised the bar. And every other team in the NFC just felt it. But for Chris Jones, this is also personal. After winning 2 rings in Kansas City, he didn't have to leave. He could have stayed, collected his checks, and chased a 3rd with Mahomes. But he wanted more, a new challenge, a fresh mountain to climb. And he saw that in the Bay. He saw a team that was close, painfully close, but missing one final piece. He believes he can be that piece. And you can see it in how he's carried himself since landing. Confident, focused, energized. He's not just here to be part of the story. He's here to finish it. In his mind, this isn't a new chapter. It's the climax. Chris Jones wants to win Defensive Player of the Year. He wants another ring, and more than that, he wants to prove that he didn't just ride Mahomes' coattails. He was the reason. And now he's ready to prove it all over again. The mood inside the locker room has shifted too. Not that the 49ers lacked confidence before, but now there's a different energy. You can feel it in the weight room, in the meeting rooms, in the way guys talk about practice. There's a new edge, a sense of urgency. Jones brings that out of people. He holds everyone accountable, not by yelling, but by working, by dominating reps, by setting the example. And young guys, they're locked in, watching, learning. Veterans too are feeding off that energy. The defense already had swagger, but now it has something more dangerous, momentum, a belief that this could be the year. No more almost, no more injuries. Killing the dream. If this team stays healthy, with Chris Jones anchor in the middle, they believe no one can stop them. And honestly, they might be right. So as Chris Jones settles into life in San Francisco, don't be surprised if things get loud. This isn't a quiet city. This isn't a quiet team. And Chris Jones, he's not a quiet player. He brings noise, power, and presence. The kind of presence that wins championships. And for a franchise that spent the last few years knocking on the door, he might be the one to finally kick it down. There will be big sacks, big celebrations, and if all goes according to plan, big games in January. And one very big one in February. The parade hasn't been scheduled yet, but if Jones keeps doing what he's always done, don't be surprised when the confetti falls in red and gold. The 40 now then, Strauss, well, 49ers didn't just sign a player, they sparked a movement. And if you weren't paying attention before, you will now, because Chris Jones just changed everything. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.